Good morning. It's hard to believe we're at the 12th day of school already and our ninth Daily Bailey Tech Talk conversation. Thanks again for participating in these, and don't forget to provide feedback, ideas, resources, questions on the Daily Bailey group website or webpage in My Big Campus. So I really just have four ideas that I want to explore with you today. But before we get into that, I want to make sure you understand digital citizenship and why it's so important. It's kind of the soft skill set of technology. I mean, you need to know the apps, you need to know the hardware and how to use the technology, the iPads. But at the same time, you need to understand the attitudes and the skills as far as communicating with others and ways to disagree, ways to communicate, ways to participate in ideas that are taking place in different forums so that you actually add something to the world and not just distract from it or create some type of noise that will come back to haunt you. And so again, this is an evolving positive mindset. The first thing I want you to look at is ask yourself, are people and places better off because of you and your presence and your participation? So here you see a group of students who are picking up trash, trying to make their community a better place because of their actions. And the same thing is true with being online. When you go online, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, or maybe it's a communication forum for a class, or even your class discussion in My Big Campus, what is it that you're adding? Do you just add flippant answers that don't really contribute anything, or do you meaningfully participate and interact with your fellow classmates and your teachers? And in general, this is just a good question for you to ask anyway. It's one that I ask myself every single evening. Is Hamilton Heights, or the students that sat across from me in my desk, or the teachers I interacted with throughout the day in the hallways or in my office, are they better off because of our interaction, or at least neutral? Or were they frustrated, or were they stressed out, or did they feel criticized? I never want them to feel that way, or any of you to feel that way. And the same thing needs to be true with our online activity. What is it that you are adding to your online function, your communication, your research, those types of activities? Next, and this is a really serious question I want you to ask yourself, how well do you invest the time in your class every single day? When you're on your iPad, and again, we talked about before how this was a big financial investment for our community to do this, plus your parents paid a fee for you to be able to use it. Is it wasted? And I don't think that it is, and I believe that all of us will be better off because of the resources and the tools that are at our fingertips and the way that it's helping to transform the way that we learn. But at the heart of everything is, are you engaging in your subject area? Are you interacting within your classes? Are you getting out of the class what you need to and giving to the class what you need to? Do you see your time on the iPad as an investment, or is it something that's distracting you? And only you can really answer that. Is there a time for play and a time for just hanging out and being social? Of course there is. I do that on my iPad pretty much every evening. But again, when I'm at work, it's a time to work and to serve others and to get the most out of the day that I can. And that's what I want you to establish when you come into your classes. You sit down and you interact with your teachers and students. The next is a picture of a volcano. I had the opportunity when I was a junior to fly over some of the volcanoes on the island of Hawaii. And one of the things that was really neat is watching it flow underneath the ground. You could see cracks in the ground, and you could see the lava down there flowing into the ocean. And it was creating another island, or extending the island of Hawaii farther into the ocean. So it was a very creative process. It was establishing something new. And online activity is the same way. It can be an amazingly innovative, creative, enlightening, inspiring place to participate in your learning. But at the same time, it can be destructive. So in that same location, right on the shore, there was this big community, this town, that essentially was just totally surrounded and covered in this lava. And so school buses and cars and homes were all covered in this explosion of lava. And so your online activity is the same way. It can be very positive and creative, but it can also be negative and destructive. And it's all a choice. And it's a maturity issue, and it's a taking personal responsibility issue as well. And again, as I said at the very beginning, I trust all of you, I believe in you, and I know that we can be responsible digital citizens. And the last point I want to make about the lava here is that when it totally cools and it hardens, it's very difficult for it to go away. And the way you present yourself online, whether it be social media or whether it be communicating on maybe a news story or something like that, that will last forever, essentially. It will not go away. And 30 to 40% of your employers, your future employers, will look at how well you use social media. And one of the things that I'm seeing even as a principal and a school administrator is that schools want you not only to have a positive or make sure that you haven't done anything negative online, but they also want to make sure that you can leverage it and use it in a way that actually helps and promotes the school and the work that you're doing with your students and your staff. And so it's not just about not doing things, but it's also about learning how to do positive things that make a big difference. And that, again, that digital footprint does not go away. So if you have cuss words on there, like if you were to hit a pause sign and collect everything online that's about you, that you've created or that you've written or posted, and you showed that to someone who wanted to hire you, would they hire you or not? And that's a really basic question. The rule of thumb that I use is whenever I'm online, if Mr. Cook can see what I'm looking at or what I am writing or posting, would he be happy with me or not? And Mr. Cook is the superintendent who's my boss, and I wouldn't want to disappoint him. And so that's the filter that I use whenever I do anything online. And then finally, I want you to go make something beautiful. I want you to make something interesting, inspiring, that maybe no one has ever seen before, no one's ever heard before, or experienced. And I want you to go make your version of art. And so I want you to have a great school year. Keep these 4 things in mind, and have a great day.